Everybody, and welcome to this episode of Talking Female Health with me, Amy, and my wonderful co-host and friend, Lisa. We are really excited to dive into this episode because it's about the lymphatic system, and it is one of my favorite systems in the body and one of my favorite topics to talk about because it is just so amazing. I feel that personally, the lymphatic system just proves how awesome the body is. And just really excited to dive into this episode and explain to you what the lymphatic system is, how it works, and give you a couple of tips as to how you can keep your own lymphatic system happy and healthy.
Yeah, and maybe also show a little evidence of what it has done in our respective bodies, because I know that for me, I have suffered from excruciating menstrual pain for years. And while it's not only my lymphatic work that supported the easing up of those cramps, so that I don't have to spend every month on the couch for 2 days in a row, there's definitely also been some deep emotional release that had to happen, but a major game changer was really paying attention to my lymphatic system, doing the lymphatic practices on a daily basis, or at least the 2 weeks leading up to my menstruation, to support my body in detoxifying from excess estrogens, and just have the hormonal balance clear. And I can feel like when I don't do these practices, it's getting more difficult. So
Yeah.
I definitely am also an advocate for this important system in your body.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. So let's dive into what the lymphatic system actually is and get to the functional part of it. So your lymphatic system is part of your immune system, and it plays a really important role in helping detoxification within the body. And if you haven't listened to our previous episode about detoxing, then I really recommend that you listen to that one as well, so you can put the two together and get all the information that we're giving you. But yeah, so it's amazing, and I like to think of it. I always like to talk about your lymphatic system is happy when it's flowing and it's fast. So it covers all of your body. You've got lymph everywhere except for your hair and your nails. So even your teeth have lymph in them. And it is literally the rivers of your body. So if you think about where your blood flows and how blood gets around the body, then you can think of lymph as like its partner in crime, helping the body to stay healthy and happy and get everything functioning as it should be within the body. And what it does is it helps to remove waste from the body. And this is what we talked about quite a lot in the previous episode, all of the toxins. So anything that isn't serving your body to do its best. So thinking of things like buildup of toxin, as Lisa's just mentioned, excess estrogen, like hormone excesses, and viruses, bacteria, fungi, parasites, all of the things that we don't want in the body. The lymphatic system's job is to remove it. So make sure that all of the waste is getting out of the body so that the blood system, like all the rest of the body, can do what it needs to do to get nutrients to where it needs to, so it can grow and do everything that you're meant to do. So
if I may just say one thing, is that well, it sounds so big, like toxins and bacteria and your body cells, they have a metabolism on their own. And in this process of making energy so your body can live, there is also this like it's natural waste products that just happen due to the metabolism of your cells. And that, of course, too gets transported off. So it doesn't just have to be these big things that we think of when we think of detoxification, but simply the waste that is naturally produced in your cells needs to be transported off as well.
And I like to think of it as almost like the body's garbage disposal system. So like where we live, we have our bin men that come every fortnight and collect the rubbish and take it away. And that's how I visualize the lymphatic system working. You know, exactly what you just said, Lisa, like the daily waste that the body builds up, it's removing that and keeping control of that, as well as taking away any other excess waste that might need to happen. So yeah, thanks for clarifying that point. But yeah, I just think of it as the recycling system. So nothing, you know, everything's just being constantly flowing. And for me, that imagining the lymphatic system as something that flows is really good to help you understand what your lymphatic system needs to be happy and healthy.
Yeah. One thing, though, is that your lymphatic system is a big portion of your immune system. So while it brings away the daily rubbish, it also has immune cells in it, in the lymphatic fluid, that will break down the parasites and bacteria and fungi and all the things that you really don't want in your body. And break them down so they are no longer harmful, and then transport them off through the lymphatic system that goes into your bloodstream, that goes through the liver, and then it can be flushed out and eliminated via the gut and your bladder. So it's a really, I think of it as a one-way system, because differently to the cardiovascular system, which is like a closed loop with the heart pumping, your lymphatic system goes from the tips of your fingers and toes all the way to the bloodstream at the left clavicular artery and the right clavicular artery at the collarbones, and then again through the bloodstream, through the liver, and out of your body. And so but because it is not this closed loop and it doesn't have a heart that is pumping, we need to support the lymphatic system to be moving, the flow to keep flowing, as Amy described it. And that's why one big part of it is, first of all, have a flow, which requires water. So hydration plays a major role. And we can dive into that in a moment. The other thing is breathing and moving, which go together, because breathing is movement. But moving your body, either through movement, exercise, that can be sports, but that doesn't have to. It can be as simple as walking. And then, of course, manual stimulation, like massages, that will also move the lymph.
So it sounds like it's quite simple to take care of your lymphatic system when, you know, Lisa's just described that it needs hydration and movement and breath, because people will be thinking, well, I'm doing these things every day, so my lymphatic system's well supported. But the sad reality is that a lot of us don't live the kind of lifestyles that support our lymphatic drainage. So that flow that I was talking about starts to slow down, or in some cases become stagnant. And when that happens, that's when we get a buildup of symptoms, where the body starts to communicate that something might not be as happy as it should be. So although it sounds really simple to care for your lymphatic system, and I think that's one of the beauties of the system that I really love, is that it really is simple. When you know how, it's so simple, it's so affordable, and it's so effective. But when we talk to our clients and when we speak to other people, and I know this was my reality as well, because when I first learned about the lymphatic system, I was like, oh, well, I'm definitely breathing because I'm alive and I move a lot and I drink. Okay. But I had a lot of learning to do about what these three pieces actually look like to optimally support the lymphatic system. And a big one is hydration. Like, how do we keep hydrated? And this is a real big one for a lot of my clients as well, because they'll come into work with me and be of the belief that they're really well hydrated because they're drinking a lot, but they're not necessarily drinking products or liquids that are going to actually hydrate them. So I always talk to my clients about clean hydration and making sure that they're getting enough clean hydration. And that's stuff like the obvious, which is water, which a lot of people tend to avoid drinking because they find it tasteless, boring. There's all the different barriers around that. But yeah, I can have a lot of conversations with friends, family, and clients where they're like, oh, I'm really hydrated. I'm drinking all this squash or all these juices or all this coffee and tea. And it's like, no, it needs to be clean hydration. What the body recognizes as hydration, because your body doesn't recognize a can of soda as a form of hydration. So having these conversations and opening up this realization, because for me personally, I was a big tea drinker, like caffeined tea drinker, and I drink several cups a day, thinking I do drink water as well. I'm drinking loads because I'm drinking all this tea. And then I had the realization I was drinking lots and lots of caffeine, like a lot of caffeine throughout the day. So I personally made the decision to transition to non-caffeine, natural teas to help hydrate my body, because I didn't want to sacrifice my cup of tea because I really liked it. So yes, the hydration.
You're English. That's understandable.
Exactly. I'm really showing yeah. So everything can be solved with a cup of tea, including, keeping your lymph hydrated.
Yeah.
So yeah. So is there anything you want to add about hydration, Lisa? Because we could do a whole episode on keeping hydrated.
And people who are listening or watching, if you are interested in us making a whole episode just on hydration and drinking well, let us know. We will happily do. There is just not much, just this for tea, for example, that what I have taken to and that I've got here with me as well as dandelion root tea. So teas that are non-caffeinated, as you said, and also they will support liver function, like nettle or dandelion, because then you've got how do you say it, 2 in 1? You've got the hydration and you support the liver, which is a main contributor to lymphatic health and detoxification in the body, and it produces up to 50%, I think, of the lymph flow, of the lymph fluid. So that's why I'm a big believer in that kind of tea.
Yeah, and the thing about that kind of tea as well is you can drink, I don't know if you do this, but you can drink it cold. So in the summer, I will make it and drink it cold and have it in the fridge. So it is versatile in terms of whether you want it in that, if you're someone who can't drink hot drinks in summer, then it's another way for you to think about drinking your dandelion teas. Because
you go?
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I just wanted to add, and the other thing for people who don't like water because it's so tasteless, I sometimes say if you put in a drop of lemon or even lime, then it can change the whole taste of it. And when I drink it with a drop of lime, I actually almost feel like I've got a non-alcoholic caipirinha in my glass. So that's a nice side effect.
I've got lemon in my water now. And the other thing that I will add really quickly, I don't know what your tap water quality is like in Germany, or if you drink from your tap water. But
I do, but only filtered.
yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Like, the water where I live in particular is very hard. So I always say to people, as soon as you start to filter your water, it will taste completely different.
Oh yeah.
And I have family members that come around here and they will just drink my lemon water and they're like, it's the best thing ever. And they get really excited about it. And I'm like, all I do is filter it and put it in the fridge because I personally like to drink cold water, chilled water. So just explore different ways of playing with your hydration as well, particularly if you're drinking tap water and you're like, it's not for me. Get yourself a filter and thank me later.
Yeah, the other thing I want to say about hydration is that I know there can be many obstacles apart from like the taste and just the sheer amount of drinking like 1.5 liters a day. For some people, it can, like, they really forget. So I say, take a bottle and put it next to you on your desk.
Yeah.
And if it's too much to refill a cup of water every time, and I just saw, for those of you who couldn't see it, but Amy has a fixed cup with a straw in it. So all she has to do is take it and drink from the straw, and it already contains a lot of water, like it looks like 0.5 liter or more. So make it as easy and convenient for you as possible. You do you. Find your way so that you stay hydrated. And yes, it will mean that you have to get up a little more often and go to the bathroom. And maybe that's not such a bad thing, because remember, the other big thing, and this is a nice little segue into that, is moving your body.
Yes.
So getting up to the bathroom every once in a while, and instead of sitting at your desk for 2 hours in a row, can be helpful for the lymph as well.
Absolutely. And like, I loved what you said earlier, Lisa, about movement not having to be sport or exercise as some people view it, because I was definitely one of the people that was really put off sport at school because it was very competitive, and that anything like that just makes me automatically not want to get involved. But movement, small movements, as Lisa said, even if it's just walking around the house as you're if you're taking a phone call, if you're somebody, whether you're working from home or in an office or wherever you are, just trying to find different ways that you can bring different movements into your body. And even if it's just stretching, like if you are just getting up and having a really good stretch and creating, because I didn't appreciate how much movement my organs needed. Like, I always thought of movement as something that was to get me stronger, thinner, muscular, like faster. I never really understood and appreciated the value of viscular movement and allowing my organs to have a good stretch and a good room really to move. And when you see where your lymphatic system flows, which is literally everywhere between your gut, in between your gut and your organs, when you're allowing that movement of stretching, and even if you're just moving from side to side, or I've got a chair that I rock on because I don't like sitting still, all of these things are really going to help that flow to optimize and therefore support your lymphatic system.
Yeah.
And
that also ties into the breathing, because the way we sit today is very often slumped over, shoulders forward, which means that neither your organs nor your lungs, which is of course an organ, have enough room to breathe properly. Because yes, you do breathe every day, that's true. And also it's not just the breathing that's important, but the way you breathe and how you use your body while breathing. So what many do, me myself included, if I don't pay attention to it, is like using my chest and my shoulders, having my shoulders go up when I breathe. And the thing is, the shoulders and the upper chest, they are supposed to stay still pretty much while you're breathing. And it's about expanding the diaphragm, which sits at the bottom of the rib cage. So basically expanding your rib cage front, back, to the sides, and slightly into your belly, and contracting or releasing on the out breath, which in turn will stimulate your gut and the organs again and help the lymph move down there, which will also help any digestive issues for that matter.
It will, yeah. And I think, like, just talking about the way that you were talking about breathing then, one thing that really hit me when I learned how to breathe through my diaphragm, with my diaphragm, is from being very young, I understood breathing in as making my stomach as small as possible and like breathing in to look thin and, you know, holding everything in, like, oh, breathe in so your trousers fit, or whatever it is that the situation you're in. Whereas it's the opposite. Like, breathing in, you're wanting that expansion in the abdomen and in the lungs. So don't get too upset with yourself if you're thinking, I don't breathe like that. Like, why aren't I breathing that way? Because it took me a really long time to retrain what I'd been taught for 35 years of how to breathe. And even now, like, when I get told to breathe in, I'm like, oh yeah, let it come out, because it's almost like the opposite of what you're asking yourself to do. So a lot of the time, like I said earlier on, it seems really easy ways to look after the lymphatic system, but society and like our lifestyles and the way that we live, through no fault of your own, it's just how things are, create an environment where you're maybe not being as supportive for your lymph as possible. So, you know, like Lisa said, if you're on your phone a lot and hunched over and in this position, because a third of your lymph nodes are in your neck upwards. So when we think of our lifestyles, a lot of us, as I said, we're either sat in cars or on computers or devices. The neck is taking a lot of the work there, like getting a lot of the unoptimal positioning. So don't feel too hard on yourself if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm doing all these things and it's not what I should be doing to support my lymphatic system, because it's about creating new habits and new ways of being in your body, and that takes time. Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing to add to this lifestyle, quote unquote, problem that we have that is not always conducive to our health, the way we sit alone, like sitting on chairs, our bodies are not made for sitting on chairs. That will come up in a later episode when we're talking about how you go to the bathroom and how you sit on your toilet. But even just on the chair, it's an unnatural body position for your whole organ system and everything. And when you look at people in East Asia, I like to cite that example. They are very often sitting on the floor, like, for example, in Japan, where they've got like everything looks like miniature. And it's just because they are sitting a lot on the floor. And sitting on the floor, you can't keep the same position for a very long time, which is by default, because it means you will move more. You will change position, you will change the legs, you will shift weight from one side of your body to another side. And so if you can, for example, like Amy suggested with this chair where she can rock on, or having these big boards that you can buy, for example, so that you don't just sit still and having the weight on just one part of your body all the time for 8 hours straight, that will be a massive support in your daily movement.
Yeah.
Which again will help your lymphatic system to stay healthy. And whether or not your lymphatic system is healthy, like you can have a little test and maybe just gently massage and palpate every part of your body, because healthy tissue is not supposed to hurt on pressure. So when you gently tap or just stroke your different body parts, and you find an area where there is, for example, swelling or a tenderness or even a sharp pain, that's a hint that your lymphatic system might be a little bit stagnant there.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking about bras because we have a lot of lymph in our breasts, and you know, practically every woman that I know says that they long for the end of the day when they can take their bra off and feel that release. So that is an example of getting connected with your body and feeling into what feels good, because nothing likes to be restricted, whether it's your breasts or, you know, whether you're wearing control, I don't know if that's the right word, like Spanx underwear, like where control, like
this body shape,
that is
or underwear,
or if you're in maybe gym clothes, etc., and they're quite tight on you, and when you're taking them off, you're getting that sigh of relief from the body. That is also a message from the body that there's a bit of congestion there that needs to be lovingly addressed.
Two caveats I have with them is that, like, for example, me, I have bras that are basically not like bras, but they allow my breasts to breathe, and I don't like them very much. I feel better with a firm bra during the day, just because my body holds itself differently, and I like the feeling of that. Nonetheless, in the evening or in the morning, I will massage my breasts so that they do get this free movement and get this stimulation. So if a bra is something that you either have to wear for whatever kind of reason, or you want to wear for whatever kind of reason, you can find these other ways of making sure that your breast health has a good flow.
Well. I don't think I worded that right, Lisa, but that when I'm saying that that's message from the body, that's the invitation to massage, like Lisa said. I'm not saying that you shouldn't wear the bra or the leggings or whatever it is. Like if that's good for you, then it's about inviting touch and stimulation to that part of the body to see what happens.
And also the other thing is, and I just know that because in 2013 I had a pulmonary embolism and almost died, and afterwards I had to wear these tights that promote blood flow and such.
Decompression tights.
The decompression tights, and they are of course very tight, and nonetheless they are made in a special way so that they promote this flow. And for example, then I was working in a company where we went to exhibitions, and I had to stand a lot during the day, and wearing those tights led to me having lighter legs in the evening than if I had worn normal tights. So always adapt to your situation, and there are things that can promote your health even in that way.
And then I just want to finish as well by saying that one of the things that I really love about the lymphatic system is how much my inner child loves it, because two things that are good for supporting lymphatic flow are laughter, which I think everybody needs more laughter. Like, I just think that being able to have a really good laugh, you know how good you feel after you've had a genuine good giggle, and when something's just made you laugh so much, you feel amazing, and that's just a sign from your body that it's good, it's really good for you. And the second thing is bouncing, like rebounding. So being on a trampoline, I don't know if you go to soft play spaces with if you've got children, or if you've got an opportunity to go to these like trampoline parks and stuff that are about, you can have so much fun. And I'm telling you from experience, you don't have to have a child with you to go and have fun. You can go with your friends and just let your inner child enjoy bouncing about and laughing, and you will feel amazing afterwards. And I just think it's such a gift, because to me, that's my inner child just being so happy whilst supporting my lymphatic system and making me feel amazing.
I love that example. Little anecdote, the place where I had my wedding, there was like this big trampoline park next door, and then we like every attendee of the wedding had free entrance, and so
Oh my
like
God.
we all went, me in my white dress and my husband in his suit, and we were there jumping on the trampolines. The children loved it too.
Oh my gosh, that's
They were like, "Oh,
amazing.
you go first, you're the bride," and I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
Amazing. Amazing. I love
So
that.
yeah, have fun, have more fun.
Yeah, definitely. That's what your body loves, you having fun. Definitely.
Yeah. And okay, for me, my closing words are: we hope that, or I hope that you understand and can appreciate what your lymphatic system is doing for you every day, helping you in detoxification, preventing all sorts of disease, reducing inflammation and chronic pain, whether that's chronic pelvic pain or chronic back pain or whatever kind of pain. And yeah, I just hope that you are getting excited about this. If you want to know more, Amy and I are definitely here and willing to share more about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I just want to end by saying once again how much I love the lymphatic system. And I love that Lisa shared what it's done for her. And everybody I know who stepped into working with their lymphatic system has had really great results, whether that be, as Lisa said, reducing pain, helping them support with symptoms that they're trying to address. But also the other piece that I love is creating that connection with your body, feeling your body. Like Lisa said, giving yourself permission to massage your breast, to massage different parts of your body, and have that deep connection with parts of your body that a lot of the time go neglected and untouched. And I just love what that has done for me, what it's done for my friends, my family, my clients, because it's just amazing. It's so good. And yeah, I love that this episode's going out on Valentine's Day, because my
Love to your
lymphatic system
body.
is my Valentine. It's amazing. So yeah, if you have any questions, if there's anything you'd like to share about any experience you've had with your
I
lymphatic
actually
system.
forgot to say what I wanted to say originally, which is like when your lymphatic system reduces these toxins and flushes out these toxins, your cell environment will get better. And the nutrients that you put into your body are so much more easily absorbed.
Yes.
And that's something I totally forgot
Yeah.
to mention. But I find that so important that
Yeah.
like you can do good for your body by simply getting rid of the toxins or
Yeah.
as much as you can in your life and in your body.
Absolutely. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing this space with us today. We've loved having you here, and we would love to hear from you. So please either drop us an email or pop a comment, and we will love to get connected with you and see how your lymphatic system's doing. And we wish you a wonderful day, and we will catch you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.